but I'm talking about him now, and I'm recommending it. So, I love him. Yeah. Hey guys, I decided I wanted to do this new idea for a video series sort of thing, and this is going to be called Books of All Kinds. And I wanted to do this because I've been getting a lot of messages on YouTube asking for recommendations based on a certain type of YA. So I thought this would be really helpful because each video I put up within this series is going to be based on a different type of YA, because I feel that YA can be broken down into so many different kinds and types and styles that this would be great for recommendations and letting you guys know what kind of books I liked within these types. Each episode will be controlled by you guys. Yeah, in the comments of each episode, let me know what you guys want to see next, and that's what I'm going to do the video on. It's going to be the most requested one. So next week, if you want to see a video on vampires or zombies or action or fantasy or fairies or witches or werewolves or pretty much anything, like any type of YA that you love, request it in the down bar and I will do my best to put a video up in the meantime based on that, and I will be showing you guys my favorites within that type. This video is going to be on love and sort of romance combined. To me, these books are mainly based on love and romance, and that's what stands out within them, and that's why I love them. And yeah, so these are the kind of love stories that give you little butterflies in your stomach. So hope you enjoy this first episode and let me know what you think. So the first book slash series I'm going to show you is Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater, and this series does have werewolves in it, but I feel that I love this series because of the love story. Maggie Stiefvater makes it so poetic and lyrical. Obviously the usual werewolves transform under the moon and that whatnot, but in this series they transform based on the temperature. So when it gets very, very cold, that's what kind of sparks the transformation. This series follows a girl named Grace. When she was younger, she was attacked by one, but then also saved by one, and the wolf that saved her has these gorgeous yellow and orangey kind of eyes that she will always remember, and since that day she's been watching her wolf out of her window in the forest. And the wolf himself, his name is Sam, and he is in love with Grace, but she just doesn't know it. He watches her and longs to be with her and tell her what he is. He kind of lives two lives. One is a wolf and one is a human. One thing leads to another, and they are part of this intricate love story where Grace fights to keep Sam human and where Sam fights to stay away from the cold and stay human himself. The love is unreal in this series. It feels so raw and so real and just so realistic. If you're looking for a great love story, this is amazing because it also has a spin of werewolves, and I feel that it is so different from any kind of love story out there. I bet many of you guys have read this next book, but I'm going to recommend anyway, and that is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, and this is seriously one of the best love stories I have ever read. Ever. It might be the best one. This is the perfect example of a love story that gives you those little butterfly feelings in your stomach and that makes your heart race faster. There's so many emotions that fly through this book, and it's like a giant roller coaster filled with all this events and plot twists, and I didn't even know a love story could be this good until I read Anna and the French Kiss. This book follows a girl named Anna, and right from the start she learns that her father and her mother decided to send her to boarding school over in Paris. That might be exciting to some people, but to her it's devastating. She's been looking forward to spending her senior year in Atlanta. You know, she has a crush, she has a best friend, and she just wants to spend it there in her hometown. In the dorm room next door to her, there's a girl named Meredith that lives there, and she hears her crying, and she kind of consoles her, helps her, gives her advice. Anna meets Etienne St. Clair, who is one of the dreamiest guys at this boarding school. He is like the ultimate dream guy. His hair, his eyes, his looks, everything has girls swooning over him when he simply walks by. The only thing is that Etienne St. Clair has a very serious girlfriend. Do they want to be friends? Do they want to be more than friends? What's going to happen next? What's going to stop them from becoming so? What's going to happen to this friendship in a city that is so beautiful and so romantic? Anna is a very awesome main character. She is seriously so great, and I love St. Clair. He is amazing, so good, so awesome. I love him. The next book I'm going to talk about is definitely one of my favorites, and that is Perfect Chemistry by Simone Alcalez. And seriously, this is more like a typical love story with a bit of a twist, but that's why I love it, is because it's executed so well and it's done so perfectly and like seamlessly that I just fell in love with this book and could not stop reading it. This series follows 3 brothers, and each book is based on one of the brothers. It's kind of like your typical love story of a bad boy that meets a very good girl. In this case, the bad boy is Alex Fuentes. He's a part of a gang. His family's kind of a part of that whole situation. Brittany is that cheerleader. On the outside, she is seen as that rich, popular cheerleader kind of girl, but on the inside, she's softer than that. Her family's kind of broken, and she has a sister who has a mental disability, and she will do anything for her sister. Brittany's more than meets the eye, and so is Alex. But when Alex is paired with Brittany for a science lab, they become lab partners, and they despise the fact that they have to work together because they're total opposites. This is the story of one chemical reaction called love, and it turns 2 people that thought they were completely different and total opposites towards each other to make them realize that it's not all that meets the eye. You don't have to be like exactly alike to be perfect for each other. Definitely recommend this. It is such a great series. The next book I'm going to show you has a lot of emotion. It's more of an intense love story. That is The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. And while it focuses on a love story, it also focuses on a girl who needs to put the pieces back together in her life after her sister passes away. And it's the story of her and kind of regaining the strength she lost when she lost her sister. Our main character is Lenny Walker, and she is a band geek. She's kind of like a bookworm. When Bailey dies abruptly, Lenny is thrown into this world of sadness, and she just cannot get over the fact that her sister is no longer with her. And the way she mourns her sister's death is very different. And what the author does is that the beginning of each chapter or so, she will leave things like this, and these are what Lenny writes poems on, and these poems are memories of her and her sister, conversations with her and her sister, and just moments where she feels she was most connected to her sister and just what she feels. She'll write them on anything she finds, hides them behind trees, park benches, in the grass, behind a leaf, and the author shares with us what those poems are. The love story comes into play when her sister passes away because Bailey had a boyfriend who was Toby. They find themselves drawn to each other because they share the feelings of loss and sadness, and they share the feeling of like emptiness because they lost the same person in their life. Then she meets a new boy in town, and his name is Joe. He's from Paris, and he is a musical genius. So while Toby kind of puts her back in the sorrow, Joe manages to take her out of that sorrow and put her back in the happiness that she lost when her sister passed away. So I love this sentence because it just expresses what I love about this story. It says, just as much a celebration of love as it is a portrait of loss. I feel that so many of you will love it. And it's one of those books that's kind of under the radar. Not a lot of people talk about it, but I'm talking about it now, and I'm recommending it because it's an amazing love story. So this next book is beautiful. It is like the definition of the word beautiful. It is outstanding. And that is Sing Me to Sleep by Angela Morrison. The story follows a girl named Beth, and she is known as the Beast, which is very hard to read about because you can't even imagine what she's going through being called the Beast by boys and by everyone at her school. So the author describes her as having awkward height, facial scars, and thick glasses. And Beth's only friend is kind of like a nerdy sort of guy whose name is Scott, and he has golden hair. He's a nice guy. Beth is a part of a choir, and when she is chosen to be the soprano soloist, which is one of the main huge roles, they are sent to Switzerland for this competition, and they give Beth a makeover that changes everything. So when they go to Switzerland, she meets many people that include a boy named Derek. He's a part of a choir, he's dreamy, he's tall, he's handsome, and he knows her as a beautiful girl, whereas her friend back in her hometown knows her as the true Beth, what she's always been before her transformation. So she's caught in between those two, and soon it turns into this love story unlike no other. There's many twists and turns that make your heart like freaking fall in your stomach. It is insane. Like the feeling that this book gives you is unlike no other. I was so close to crying, but I smiled at times. I was happy, I was sad. I feel that this is an amazing, amazing love story that so many of you will love because it just has all the perfect elements put together to make a beautiful story. So I hope this helps. I hope you will check out those recommendations. Let me know if you've read them or if you're going to. Also, let me know what you want to see for the next episode and what recommendations you'd want to see and what you want me to show you. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all my new subscribers, and I hope this idea is helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.